Hey, and welcome to Matt and Jess TV. I am Matt Rose.
And I'm Jessica Bun Bun.
This is our reaction and review for The Amazing Race 38, Episode 7. We are now in Romania. We had an actual flight, some real equalizers here.
Yeah, this was a really good episode, even though they didn't go to Dracula's castle, which is a bucket list thing for me to go to Romania to see. The pictures are incredible. I'm such a vampire fan, Dracula fan. I'm dying to go. I couldn't believe they didn't even show it. I'm not surprised that they didn't have something there, but just the same, you're not even going to mention it. It's so iconic.
Listen, we're just never meant to know what they do in the shadows. We just have to settle for a skydiving challenge. But I had the same thought. Okay, we're going to talk about the skydiving thing here. Maybe it's because I'm old, I'm jaded, I've seen too many seasons of The Amazing Race, but have any of you ever had that feeling where you have a lot of chili dogs and then the next chili dog you eat, it just doesn't taste the same anymore? You've just had too many chili dogs. I'm like this with skydiving. It's exciting for the people who do it, I'm sure, but as a viewer, I'm just like, okay, I've seen this.
Okay, I'm a former funeral director. I haven't seen anybody on my table from skydiving, but I have seen enough through my time in funeral services of people doing crazy things that are dangerous and living in danger and ending up on my table. So for me, skydiving, that's on that list. I am not doing any sort of wild hobby type stuff where I could end up dead. It's just too much of a risk for no reward.
Yeah,
for me.
The riskiest thing I'm voluntarily going to do is ride around my bicycle, which, as it turns out, I nearly wrecked myself over the weekend. So it can. Listen, I still got a bruise,
You're
but
good.
No, it's one of the. But I'm not a danger person. But let's be real here. Based on everything you literally just said, we know which one of the Matt and Jess Amazing Race duo is doing the skydiving challenge.
It's not me.
Yeah, I know it's going to be me.
No, it's not me. I'm not doing it. That would just be the end of it right there. I don't care. Take your $1 million. You can't pay me enough to jump out of a plane.
Okay, I do think this episode, skydiving aside, was fun. We did get some interesting challenges, a couple just entertaining moments along the way.
Yes.
We have a lot to talk about still, but before we do, be sure to hit that subscribe button for more coverage here of The Amazing Race through the rest of this season. And also, Survivor Beyond that. We're getting into the home stretch of that season as well.
Absolutely. And you can follow us over on our Patreon if you want to talk about Amazing Race further with us. Over there, we're also covering Down Cemetery Road, which is like this really cool but complicated murder mystery. Like if you're a murder mystery buff like we are, we watch tons and tons of murder mysteries. This one really has us because it is like, it's got you everywhere, all over the place. Things that I'm just like, I don't understand yet, but I can tell that it's coming. And then the next episode, it's there. It is the only place that you can get those reviews.
I love murder mysteries on hard mode, and that show definitely fits that. So thank you so much to everyone supporting us. And by the way, I also really love Amazing Race on hard mode when they at least give a couple of challenges that feel difficult, and we at least got a little of that here.
Okay, we need everybody put on your hard hat. All the Adam and Joseph fans out there, put on your hard hat.
I'm putting on another one.
Oh my God. Here we go.
All right.
Are they getting carried through this show? Because I feel like the last episode and this episode, and it was like 3 episodes ago, Stephanie and Natalie, mostly Natalie. If I was Stephanie, I'd be mad. I know that they're sisters, but you can be mad at each other. They just helped them so much, so many times, writing down directions, letting them follow them, driving around the block to come back and help them again. And then they get into this situation where Natalie and Stephanie were definitely the people that should have been on that first flight. They're not, and they're gone. And it's because Adam and Joseph decided to be like, you know what? It's time to play. Big Brother came out, backstabbing came out, and that's how it went. And that's fine. It's Big Brother people playing. You're playing for $1 million. At the same time, though, they've been kind of getting carried. That's how I feel about it. I feel that if they hadn't had as much help as they did from Jag and Jazz and from Natalie and Stephanie, they would have already been gone.
Okay, here's the thing.
I said what I said.
You're not wrong. I will
Oh!
also say this, and okay, go ahead, applaud yourself. I will say this as someone who I really like Joseph, not just on this show, but
Same. And I really like
yeah,
Adam.
like they seem like really good people in real life, and so
Yeah.
like hats off to them. So here's my take on it. You're not wrong, but I'm also just kind of sitting here and being like, you know what? If you just want to sit back and let other people do things for you, go off, Kings. Like, just chill. If Natalie wants to tank her game by giving you all this information,
Shocking.
if Jag and Jazz want to be allies with you, save those big muscles you guys have for when you actually need them. And really, Natalie Stephanie, those are the breaks. Like at one point, the game of kumbaya among this train wreck alliance, it has to end.
Well, there was also this one moment where it was like the travel agent already had their passports, but nothing had really been typed in yet because Natalie and Stephanie even kind of said, "Oh, well, they already have the passports." I'm just like, where's one of you to be like, no, this isn't happening. Just take the passport out of his hand. Be like, this isn't happening. You didn't even really try to stop this. You guys have helped them so much. Stephanie was getting so mad in the last episode about all of this and throughout a lot of it where she's just like, we are driving around looking for these guys to help these guys. Like, it's fine to have an alliance, but this is ridiculous. We are basically carrying their game, which is what was happening, I feel. And they took advantage of it as they should. This is a game for $1 million. This is Big Brother, people. However, I could see Stephanie and Natalie really like throughout this episode fighting. And I think that tension of just basically giving away their game to another team really was building between them because we've already seen them fighting about it and they should be fighting about it.
A big problem here is I wonder if this would be totally different if it wasn't Big Brother alumni, because there is this built-in fraternity. You don't want to make people mad. Joseph has a following. Was that something that was in Natalie's head?
It's so much money. It is life-changing money.
I just wonder, if these were all normal people, would that little bit of oomph be there where you're really going to go for the jugular and make the big move here and be aggressive?
And it's okay to do that. They did it. It's not going to hurt them at all. Natalie, Steph, it's not going to hurt you guys to do it. It's too late. You guys are gone. Man, you guys really blew it.
It's why I don't have any sympathy for them leaving the show at this point. And it's just...
They did it to themselves. Adam and Joseph have been carried. However, they did it to themselves.
Yeah, they made a number of mistakes in this episode. This obviously being a big one just right from the get-go. Who knows what would have happened if you had fought harder for that seat, but at least try to fight. Like, doing nothing, what are the odds that Joseph and Adam are suddenly going to be like, oh, we're going to pay back all this kindness this late in the race when there's like no reason. Joseph's a lawyer. I don't know everybody how much money you got in your bank account, but it feels like going to law school is not cheap. You need that money.
Yeah, Joseph and Adam made the right decision to be like, yeah, we know we got here before, after you, but we still got our passports in before you and we're not taking it back. That's what I want to see. This is Big Brother players. Yeah, there's lots of alliances, but this is Big Brother type play.
All right, skydiving. Throw me off the plane. I know I'm going to be doing the skydiving. I don't have an extreme fear of heights. I don't love it, but I would do it. But here's how I would do it. I would just be up there. I would close my eyes. I would not do any sort of forceful action on my own. I would have told somebody else to literally push me out of the plane. I'm not going to pay any attention to what's happening. And then Jess can run over to like my lifeless body on the ground.
Oh, yo, that's so dark. No.
I'll be live. I'm just saying, I'm just going to be there in the fetal position until somebody tells me it's over.
I will be on the ground waving and, chattering my teeth in fear that you're just going to splatter on the ground. Like, I don't like it. I have no fear of heights. I have no fear of flying. I'm fine with all that stuff. But like pushing me out of a plane, jumping out of a plane, I don't understand it. If we have any skydivers here, like what is the thrill of plummeting to the earth? Please tell me in the comments, please.
It's gotta be just a 5-second adrenaline rush, and maybe that is so crazy that I don't even understand it on some level.
It's so weird because my husband Bert loves skydiving. Like he's very close to becoming someone who could teach skydiving. And I've asked him a million times to explain to me what it is about it. And like I still don't get it.
No, I had a friend in high school who was the same sort of way, and they would just be like, oh, it's fun. I was like, well, what makes it fun? And they never gave me an altogether clear answer on any of this. I would not love doing it. The one thing I would tell myself for peace of mind is I want to believe that the show cares about me. But even whether or not they, regardless of whether or not they do,
things happen.
you know what they really care about? Not getting sued by somebody who dies on a skydiving. So I just feel like it's going to be very, very safe because they do not want to lose the money.
Well, that's the thing. If you have to sign a waiver of your hobby that says that if you die, it is your own fault, that is not the hobby for me.
Yes, this is very, very true.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll get through the skydiving here because, yeah, it's really not that eventful, not altogether exciting. Instead, you know what's always fun to me?
The sheep farm.
Sheep farms.
Oh, so good.
Any amazing race challenge where the animals can defy the people running around and trying to get them to do something, I am always in for this.
Oh, my heart just like went out to Taylor there where they had their sheep and one was just like, nope. And she was just like, oh, I felt that. Her whole face.
I felt a lot for Taylor in this episode, if I'm being honest, because I don't think Kylan was patient enough with her throughout a lot of this.
Hit by the car door. I know it was kind of an accident, but you can't be like, hey, we need to be really patient here. And she's like, okay, yeah, I agree. We should do that. And then like just slam the door and you hit her in the shoulder. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah, I've had my ups and downs with Kylan over the years. There are times I really like him. There are times he's doing too much. I thought he was doing too much here, and not just because of everything in the sheep challenge. Like, this was just really, really entertaining television.
Yeah, it was.
It also cemented further, and we can talk about this through the entire leg, that Tucker and Eric, these past 4 legs, I know there have been legs where they had equalizers or lack thereof and had a big advantage, but this was a level playing field. They are just steamrolling people at this point.
They really are. And it's making me worried because these express passes are still in play.
Yes.
And everyone seems to be kind of holding on to them, realizing that Tucker and Eric, I mean, they've won, what did he say, 4 in a row now?
Yes.
Number ones. Like, if they don't find a way to sabotage them, then they've won the show.
Yeah.
And they should win the show at this point.
They're just so physically dominant, but I think beyond...
But they have great attitudes about it. They're so, like, just having a fun time, and, like, I don't know. They've been a joy to watch.
This is what made Tucker so scary on Big Brother as well, because, I mean, for those of you who didn't watch that Big Brother season, he had this aura of just feeling like he was bigger than the game. And that's something that just a tiny handful of Big Brother players have had. Dr. Will's obviously the most famous example. But when you're around someone like this, you never feel like they're going to get nervous. They're ever going to crack under the pressure. And it is very, very unnerving to be against somebody like that.
It was also interesting to see him, you know, we saw Izzy come in and, you know, Jag is there and they're all kind of like talking or whatever. And, you know, he's surprised she's there and there's this rivalry there, you know, Eric and Tucker even bringing that up. But it's interesting that the show hasn't actually explained what that's about, because there are lots of people that are watching the show, even some of you guys in the comments, that are like, I don't understand what's going on, because the show hasn't explained why these two people do not get along. And if you didn't watch Big Brother, then you don't know. The show really needed to have some sort of segment where they just have like basically a confessional where Jag tells his side of the story, Izzy tells her side of the story, and that's it.
Even if you wanted to get 20 seconds of additional Big Brother footage, it's not like you're airing on different networks here. This is all a greater CBS family. Like, there is 100% more that could be done with that.
Yeah.
All right. Building bricks or putting on a mask.
It's so weird because I also would have picked the bricks. I would have been concerned that, you know, the mask was going to be like, oh, it has to be exactly right and all this sort of whatever. It's like, ooh, that does seem like it's going to be more difficult. But Izzy and Paige being the only people that picked it and going over there, I just feel like the guy that was there was like, I'm so glad somebody picked me. This is going to be super fun. I've been waiting all day for someone to show up so I can wear the mask, and like, it's just going to be a good time. That he maybe wasn't as hard on them. They did a good job, but he wasn't really nitpicking anything like the guy with the bricks was.
Yeah, the brick guy was tough. Yeah, the
was
mask
tough.
judge was great, but this just further solidified Izzy. I'm such a fan.
I know.
I love everything about Lizzie. I love how competitive she is. I
loved her singing in it. I really love her so much. She's so funny.
I also just feel like she could tell me a story about anything in her past and I would believe it's true. She's telling this story about how, she's been around fabrics and all this stuff. And I totally believed her, and it really benefited her in this challenge. It's just, she has a story for everything, and she's one of those people. I will say, being that I am Captain Shaky Hands and I have a really hard time like sewing or threading, I would have been so afraid of this challenge. It would not have even mattered to me who the judge was.
All right, so we would have been bricks, and we probably would have gotten eliminated too. It was tough, man.
I would have.
And Taylor falling over, man, this was a really hard episode for her.
It was really, really hard. I would have gassed us up big time on these bricks, probably to our own detriment. I would have been like, you know what we're really good at? Building things in Minecraft. And I would have convinced us that this is the exact same thing as Minecraft, even though it's not even remotely like that.
All right, I buy your story.
Yeah, I mean, putting together the brick part of it, I feel like the idea of constructing them, I could get behind. Where this actually seemed hard was you had to make them into the right shape. You had to make sure that like no ends were falling off. And I mean, this is coming from somebody who I love to bake, but a good 90% of the things that I bake, they're delicious, but they do not look like the recipe typically suggests that they should. So that would be my concern.
Yeah, I mean, there were some of those bricks that I saw where there's like pieces of hay sticking out. And I'm like, that's not going to pass. There's no way that that's going to pass. Is it going to pass? Surely it didn't pass. I was just like, and then other ones I've seen where they're nice and smooth. I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's what it's supposed to look like. So why wouldn't you just take the time or pull out that piece of hay or anything?
Just patience. You, especially if you're there pretty early on and you're just like, you have a little bit of a leg up, just have to only do it the one time. You have to go back and correct yourself.
Yes.
I think the last thing I will praise this episode for is just that, as sad as it may be for Natalie and Stephanie that they're gone, this was one of the first episodes this season where there was an elimination that I could not predict going into the episode.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, we have just been near constant, okay, this person, that person. I thought Chelsea and Jack or Izzy and Paige, that they were, one of them was going to be a goner going into this.
Okay, here's my one beef that I had with this. Where they get to the pit stop and there's two people dressed up as bears. And they're like, what's with the bears? Oh, we have a lot of bears around here. I was like, that's like if you have a leg in Canada and you show up at the mat, someone's dressed up like a beaver or a hockey player or something like that, or Justin Trudeau. Like, why is this a thing that's happening? It doesn't make any sense to me. Oh, we have a lot of bears. Okay, bro.
I have so many jokes. There's too many jokes running in my head right now that I can't solidify one. But that, you're right. This entire pit stop,
it was so weird.
It was so weird, so absurd. You had the bears there for no reason. You had the chase down of Phil at one point.
That was fun.
Phil.
But the bears was so weird. It feels like
Yeah.
it should have been like if it's like the national animal or something.
Yeah.
We have a lot of bears in this area.
Phil,
Okay.
you're not too good to get a little bit dirty. I say this, I watch some international versions of this show. I see their host like doing the detour challenges, doing Phil, you're just doing what you got to get the check at this point. Get
Good
into
for you, Phil. Don't you get dirty.
Okay, listen, Phil, you're probably right. Phil, come on, embrace the spirit of the race. But that is where we are with the Amazing Race.
Yep.
This episode 7. Let us know, who are you rooting for moving forward? What did you think about this leg? And hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any other updates. We really appreciate your support, and we will see you here next time.